Hello people of YouTube, I'm the Nerd Logan and welcome back to another deck profile. So, I had fun at my Invasion Vengeance sneak peek, and I'm sorry I haven't made a video since then, because it took me a while to actually get these guys built. I'm still working on my Chemic Critters and Cristrons, so those deck profiles will be later, but not soon. But my Metalfoes have been updated because I got lucky at some pack pulls, and I've updated these guys. So let's get into the deck profile, shall we? Alright, so as still I use 3 Metalfoes Volflame. A good 8 scale, level 7, and 24 by 2000. And just to state as usual, all Metalfoes have the same pendulum effect, which is target a face-up card you control other than this card, destroy it, and set it directly from your deck, 1 Metalfoes spell or trap. God, I cannot speak English today. Sorry. But, yeah. As well, 3 Metalfoes Gold Driver. Oops. Now, I actually just recently heard that in OTS 3, Gold Driver is going to be reprinted as a secret. Super. So, I'm probably going to be try to get a playset of those things. But Gold Driver is a good level 4, 19 by 5, and a good 1 scale as well. 3 Silvered, the second 1 scale of the deck, who is 17 by 1 and a good level 3. And 3 Metalfoes Steelin, a level 2 that is an 8 scale and is 0 by 2100. Now for a level 2, I'm actually surprised he has this much defense. And for his art, that even makes me question even more. Three Master Pendulum, the Draco Slayer. A good 3 scale where you can pop your other scale in case of, for some reason, you can't use it. A good level 4 that is 1950 by 0. Sometimes I honestly just hate when monsters have 1950. Ugh. And new from the set, I use 2 Metalfoes Bismugear. The only main deck Metalfoes with an effect. Now with him being a level 1, this kind of hurts him as well. He's as well an 8 scale, which makes this deck have 3 8 scales and 2 1 scales. His pendulum effect is still the same to the Metalfoes, but his monster effect works similar to that of Skarm of the Burning Abyss and Pinocchi of the Blackwings, where whenever he's destroyed by card effects this turn, during the end phase, you can add 1 Metalfoes monster from deck to hand. And this effect does not exclude itself, which is insane, so if you need another one of him, you can add him. Now, the only reason I run him at 2 is because he's at 3, he's too cloggy, and the fact that you can't even pendulum him makes it worse. And sadly as well, he's 0 by 0, so the only thing good about him is his pendulum effect and his card effect. I still use 1 Luster Pendulum, the Draco Slayer, who you can target a card in your opposite scale, destroy it, and add 1 of same name. And his monster effect is he can only be used for the Synchro, Fusion, and XC summon of Draco Slayer monsters, which sucks, honestly. But a good 5 scale and 18 by 0, and a good tuner as well. 1 Magispector Unicorn Kieran. I really hated to see him get hit by the ban list, but he obviously has his reasons. A moderate 2 scale, level 6, which can be easily pendulum summoned by this deck. Can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects, and you can easily return another pendulum or himself to the hand, and then bounce a monster your opponent controls, not a card, a monster, which can only be used once per turn. But really, during either player's turn to do that, it's worth it. And finally, for monsters, I use 1 Rescue Rabbit. Because of him being in Dino Rabbit, you all know his reasons to be it. He can't be special summoned from the deck, but you can at least banish him and special summon 2 level 4 or lower normal monsters of the Same name from deck. This is good for maybe possible Metalfoes fusion summoning or using him to bring out an Xyz. But sadly, if you don't use the monsters by the end phase, they're, I think, destroyed or banished. Destroyed. Man, I can't remember some effects sometimes. I'm an idiot. Alright, for spell cards, I use 3 Metamorph Formation, giving all my Metalfoes an extra 300 attack and defense. And as long as I have a Metalfoe in scale, all non-effect Metalfoe monsters I control are unaffected by your card effects. And with the most recent support, that's kind of now a bit more tricky since Bismugear and they now have 3 fusions with effects, so there's that. I still find it a good fusion spell. I mean, field spell. I use 2 full Metalfoes fusion. It works similar to that of regular Metalfoes fusion, except it doesn't have its graveyard effect, and this card is a quick play. So in case if you need to fusion summon during your opponent's turn to bring out something to protect yourself, this is it. Two Twin Twisters. Good for targeting possible set combinations that you just set that turn, or just getting rid of stuff your opponent controls. It's a good staple. Glad I have it. I cut Metalfoes Fusion down to 1 because, again, this card is so ridiculous that it can just recycle itself over and over and over again, and you get that free draw. The Metalfoes Fusion is just a basic fusion spell for Metalfoes monsters, using monsters from hand or field as material, and once per turn, you can shuffle this card back into your deck and then get to a free draw. Sadly, that effect can only be used once per turn, but really, 1 draw is good enough. I also recently got my hands on a good Painful Decision. This card, you send a level 4 or lower normal monster from your deck, and then add one of same name from deck to hand. If you guys recommend it, I'm going to try to get more of this, but just tell me how many I should try to use. 1 Emergency Teleport. Special summon a level 3 or lower Psychic type monster from your deck, but during the end phase, banish it. This is good to bring out possible protection from with bringing out Adamante or Silvered or Bismugear. And then at the same time, you got to try to get rid of it or else it gets banished. So, and 1 Expected Die. I can put this on the chopping block for Painful Decisions if you guys say so. But Painful Decision, if I control no monsters, I special a level 4 or lower normal monster from my deck. Oh, excuse me, sorry. And that is it for spells. For traps, I use 3 Metalfoes Counter. Because this trap has no recycling potential, and it is the only trap card that can be banished by its own effect. But basically, whenever a card is destroyed, not itself, you special summon 1 Metalfoes from your deck. And during the turn it wasn't sent to the graveyard, you can banish it and return a Metalfoes, a face-up Metalfoes from your extra deck to your hand. This is good for retrieving scales after you draw. For if you draw, like I say, silvered, you can return a face-up 8 scale from your extra deck to your hand and be able to pendulum summon. This is really good for recycling your scales. 2 Metalfoes Combination. Once per turn, if you conduct a fusion summon, you can target a Metalfoe in your graveyard whose level is less than that of the fusion summon monster and bring that Metalfoes back. As well, if this card is sent from field to graveyard, you can add 1 Metalfoes monster from your deck to hand. This is really good for possible destruction from the Metalfoes scales, or just good fodder for making your opponent waste Twin Twisters or other things. Because after that, you get an extra Metalfoe. I rarely actually see anyone actually use it for its first effect, but sometimes I try to. 2 Quaking Mirror Forces. Whenever your opponent declares an attack, you change all attack position monsters your opponent controls to face down defense position, and they cannot change their card effects. I use this primarily for Aura Calc, because duh. And the final cards of the main deck, Solemn Warning and Bottomless Trap Hole. Bottomless, your opponent summons something with 1500 or more, destroy it and banish it. And Solemn, whenever your opponent activates summons something or activates a spell or trap effect that would summon something, pay 2,000, negate it, destroy. Son of a bitch. Alright, so that's it for the main deck. Now let's get into the extra deck. I use 3 Metalfoes Orichalc. Orichalc gives, first off, all Metalfoes double piercing damage, which is ridiculous. And as well, if he's sent from field to graveyard by any means, you can target a card your opponent controls and destroy it. Metalfoes Crimsonite. At 2, he's just really a good 3k beater if you have a Metalfoe and 2 other monsters with 3,000 less attack on the field to summon. He's a good 3x3 beater and can be 33x33 if you have Metamorphomation on the field. As well, 2 Metalfoes Adamante. Same thing with Orichalc. He's a 25x25 beats deck. Just can be fused with 1 Metalfoe and a monster with 25 or less. 2 Magister Paladin, the Ascending Draco Slayer. During the turn he was summoned, XC summoned, you can, during the end phase, add a Pendulum monster from your deck to hand. So you can detach material from him and target face-up Draco Slayer in your extra deck, special summon it, but it can't be used as XC's material, which is marvelous. Now, I only have 1 of him at the moment, but I'm glad I even have 1. I use 1 full Metalfoes Alcahest. Right now, currently he can only be fusion summoned, so if you try to summon him off a combination, that won't work. Now, once per turn during your opponent's turn, you can target 1 effect monster they control and equip it to him. And as long as it's equipped to him, he gains defense equal to that monster's attack, and all the combined attacks of monsters equipped to him. And as well, the monsters equipped to him can be used as fusion material for a Metalfoes fusion. It makes him overkill, and I'm just glad I got lucky and pulled 1. I didn't trade for this. I got lucky. 1 Metalfoes Mithrilium. If you guys want, I'm going to try bumping her up to 2, but I don't have a way to get a second one right now. Mithrilium is the other new card that came out of the set. She can, first off, target 2 Metalfoe cards in your graveyard and 1 Metalfoes monster on the field. Shuffle the 2 back into the 2 cards from graveyard back into deck and return the monster on field to hand. This is a great way for recycling combinations, counters you don't need, or your new full Metalfoes fusions. And as well, when she's sent from field to graveyard, she can target a face-up Metalfoes monster in your extra deck and special summon it. This is a great way for recycling Bithmagears, or just a way to bring out protection, like maybe bring out another Volflame. 1 Dinostor Mighty, the powerful Draco Slayer. As long as he's on the field, all your Pendulum monsters and Pendulum Scales cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. And as well, you can target a Draco Slayer in your graveyard, special summon it, but can't be used as fusion material. 1 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Depending on the deck I'm facing, and the chance I get 2 Volflames, he's something I can bring out and hopefully let my opponent just burn themselves to death. Because as long as he has XC's material, he can't be destroyed by card effects, and as long as he has material as well, every time my opponent activates a card or effect, after that card resolves, your opponent must take 500 points of damage. And the other effect, which I don't really use, you can detach a material from him and target a level 7 Red Eyes normal monster in your graveyard, special summon it. But where am I going to use that? Or in other case scenarios, I can use number 11, Big Eye. Detach material from him, take control of the target monster your opponent controls, take control of it, and Big Eye just can't attack that turn. And finally, 1 Ichnestor Prominence, the Blasting Draco Slayer. Target one pendulum card, pendulum monster, or pendulum card in scales. Not saying either players. So, yeah, I learned that the hard way. Destroy it, and then shuffle one card your opponent controls back into deck. Does not target. As well, Ignister can special summon a Draco Slayer from the deck in defense mode, but it cannot be used as synchro material. So that's pretty much it for the Metalfoes right now, guys. Please leave your suggestions for the deck in the comments below, and I will gladly take some. I cannot make those insane builds that use Ultimate Zolkin and then use Crystal Wing, and I'm just doing this because this is the only build I can easily afford. So please leave your suggestions. And as well, like I said, I have been working on the Chemicritters. I have everything for them at the moment, so please expect a deck profile for these guys in the future. And please leave some suggestions for the deck in the comments below. I really want to hear some of your guys' suggestions. I'm mostly going to be trying using a Red Eyes variant with some of the stuff from the legendary Jack Joey. Using cards such as Red Eyes Flare, Gemini Summoner, Blazewing Butterfly, Phoenix Gear Feed, and Supervise. So if you guys got any other suggestions for cards to add to this deck, I would love to hear them. But other than that, thank you guys for watching this video. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and leave suggestions for possible decks I can try to build in the future. See you guys later. See ya!